All right, so let's introduce our panel. So, actually, guys can introduce yourself. So we'll pass the mic, and this is.
I'm Donna Murray Turner, and and I identify from credit. I've been in the gender. Was it gender fluid toilet? Oh, well, I'll let you know, right? Don't go in there for about 35, 45 minutes. I'm Quincy, comedian.
I'm the real Donna Murray Turner, thank you.
Hi, I'm Simone, aka She Speaks.
Hi, I'm Nikki Omar.
Mash it up. Hello. Heavy-handed. I'm a DJ. I'm WJ Goodgood from Special Touch and Supreme Radio.
Okay, so, all right, guys. You know? So I'm Natalie. I am the co-founder of No Bravado with Trisha Blake, and I don't know where Trisha's gone. Where has she gone? She's gone further. All right. So for the first question, let's get to it. If your partner was speaking to their ex-partner every day, would you have an issue with that?
I have no issue with that. It depends what they're talking about. If it's about paying for this, the current crisis with the utility bills, they could talk all day. Contributing. Now, I haven't got issue with it because I'm not that insecure. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So as long as like I know who he or she. Yeah, well, I was just saying from both sides. Why the black people always gonna turn it into Bush and Benton? Fire, pan boy, fire! just the thing, boy. Just the thing. Yeah. Now I'm just saying, for me, as no partners, ex-partners, and they talk every day. And they talk every day. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, I got an issue with it. I'm not insecure because I know who I'm talking to.
I don't actually think it's about insecurity, I'm going to be honest with you. I think it's about what's the context of the conversation. So personally, it depends on the context of the conversation. If you are just simply friends but you're no longer together, well, hey, go for it. But let's just be honest, we all know old relationships are easy to get back together.
Not if you've had kids with them there.
No, they are. Trust me, old fire stick, easy for catch. Stop it, Donna. Anyone else?
This is the question, isn't it? What are they talking about?
Yeah. What are we talking
about? What are they
I
talking
don't know
about?
what they're talking about. I just don't know why you would need to
Are they
speak
long
to your
conversations?
ex every day.
Are they long conversations?
Every day.
Hourly, 2 hourly?
Why every day? Even with...
It might be, hi, have a wonderful day.
Why every day?
Goodbye.
That person could be a Christian. It could be like a pastor.
Hallelujah.
Don't come
Okay,
for
so-
us, Christians. Don't come for us, Christians. Don't try it.
Who came for the
Serve
Christians?
God, we're not fooled.
So I'm just going to put it out there. So you can have, as well as children, there can be businesses that they may still own together. There can be property. I know that I own it and he landlords it. And so I have to speak to my ex very regularly because we have some Jamaicans in there on a visa and they won't come out. So between me, him and the Met, there's lots of conversations. So yeah, I mean, I don't think it's necessarily about. You read it. I suppose it could be read that way, but the context of those conversations, as long as the new partner is aware of what the situation is, then why can't we speak every day if that is what is required? If it's just every day for everyday's sake, I can see your point. But if it's a necessity, because bad things happen.
Yeah.
So if it's a necessity, maybe it's this day it's the children in far down, and the next day it's the tenant in the yard. Then there's a requirement to speak for those consecutive days. But if not, I do take your point.
But also, sorry, Nick, before you just jump on the back of what you just said. Also, sometimes you are in a relationship with someone and you realise, actually, we're not compatible, we're friends. And that's okay as well. So we need to get into a space where it's okay for men and women to be friends. Not every time you're a friend with a man or a woman, it's sexual. You can actually... Donna, why are you laughing?
Because I'm Quincy's friend.
I've been there before. I've had conversations. I mean, like, I've spoken to my ex on a regular basis. I have conversations like, "You still with him?" "Yeah, I have to call you tomorrow."
No, okay, all right. Back to it now, back to it. So, for me, personally, it is the context of the conversations. And if she's his friend, then she must know about me, innit? So, if she knows about me and knows that Nikki's there with the kids or whatever, and they're chatting and they're chilling, then cool. If there's secret phone calls and you're rushing off because my girl's calling you, then no, sir. We're not having that. But to me, it's the context of the conversation. And if it's a free, open conversation and, you know, we're chatting, they're on loudspeaker and we're all involved, then cool. It's, you know, like you said, like sometimes people are in relationships and then they realise, you know what, I don't actually love this person like that, but is a good brethren. So it does happen. And if it does, then good on them. But the minute I feel any kind of something, then it's on.
What about you, Trish? No, not every day.
I mean, like Donna said, I suppose if you have got businesses together and so on and so forth, we've got businesses together. We don't talk every day.
We've got multiple businesses together.
And we don't talk every day.
I think as well what it is sometimes with some relationships it's boundaries, isn't it? So I think when you come out of the relationship, especially if you've got a new partner, it's about setting that boundary, and sometimes that can get blurred if you're just, what are you doing, how are you, good morning every day for no reason. But if you have got businesses, kids and stuff, I've got kids with someone, I don't speak to him every day. I try to avoid it as much as possible. But I mean, you do know what I mean? Like you like Donna said, there could be context. But if it's what you doing, how you doing, what you up to, how's your day been? Not every day.
Yeah, not every day, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
What say you, No Bravado Massive?
Yeah.
What are we saying in the crowd? Who is Desmond? No? You lot are keyboard warriors, really, you know. Keyboard warriors. Now we're in the flesh, no one knows what to say.
I don't think it's an issue talking every day. What I do think it's, you know, when your ex keeps phoning you up to come around to do things every day, that's a different conversation. Right. Yeah, so I don't mind talking to people every day and give me a call, but if you're phoning me and saying, "Oh, can you come around and do my lights, or can you come down and do this?" then that may be an issue. Yeah. You know, Quincy, you know.
But don't you think that if you're talking every day, where does it? At some point, you're gonna cross some. You're just gonna talk every day and say hi every day. Every day. That's their business. At this point, that's their business.
I can only speak from my own experience. I have kids with like my ex-partner and so forth. So I do, unfortunately. No, I'm not going to say unfortunately. Yeah. This might get video to send back to her. Then I'm going to have a conversation with her. Then. Oh, what have I set myself up for now? But anyway, but through the kids and stuff and other circumstances, I do. It's not every day, but I do get a phone call and all of that. But at the same time, when you haven't kind of set boundaries, it gets a bit. You know, when you brought them bad sometimes, like it's true. Like I can only talk from my own experience. Sometimes, like I've let things slide, just for an easy life, innit? So yeah, for an easy life and less argument, in it. But so sometimes you make the rod for your own back. But obviously, new partner and everything like that, things have to get locked off, innit? Or they're set to a certain boundaries, yeah. Yeah, that's all I really want to say, yeah.
Come on, Misty. Come on, Misty.
Thanks, Trish. No, I don't think it's okay at all. That's my comment. I just think it's unnecessary. And I know there may be caveats. as Donna has explained and stuff, and I totally get that. But every day, why? No, I think it's unhealthy. Yeah, no, sorry, no.
Why do we think it's unhealthy? Do we think it's because we're not letting go?
It's an unhealthy emotional attachment that's not required.
All right, say it again.
As I said on the time, it's an unhealthy emotional attachment. If you require that much communication with an ex, there's an attachment there that's still not resolved.
Yes.
Why is it still necessary? What's the psychology behind needing that touch every day?
Straight no. Anybody else got anything else to say? Desmond, you drank some rum punch.
I would say that you should actually consider your current partner, that you're the person that you're with now, and think how that person would feel about contact with your ex-partner on a day-to-day basis. I don't think it's setting off on the correct foot with your current partner, and would you want your current partner to be speaking to somebody else on a day-to-day basis and playing emotional tennis with your head? Because you don't know that they're doing anything, but you're going to be asking the questions. Why? Why every day? What's going on? Why would you set your current partner up like that?
Come on, give him a clap. Deserves a clap. Okay, Donna is clapping.
Donna and I disagree as a couple.
All right, well, counteract.
No, Donna will speak for us.
Counteract.
We disagree slightly.
I'm surprised that you don't want to speak to your people every day in the first place. I mean, the current partner. I don't mean the ex-partner. I agree that, because I was thinking as well, because sometimes ex-partners want to weaponize it, don't they? That attachment. Who spoke about coming around and doing things and fixing my lights? Yeah. So sometimes, and my own experience is only about women, not my own experience, because every girl knows Miss Dear, but women can sometimes weaponize that, and then, one thing leads to another. Simone and I are we. I don't necessarily know. Again, I go back to my caveats.
We wouldn't be asking. We wouldn't have in our head, are they doing something?
No. Yeah.
We're not gonna, that's too much head work.
Yeah.
If you're doing something, it's gonna come out. And then you're just gone.
Yeah. I'm not Cluzo. We're not Cluzo, is it?
No, we're not.
So, and we're not. No, we're not. And on Sunday, we're not the other one as well. The one with the Rain Mac. Colombo. So if you're out there and you're doing, you're breaking the boundaries that we have set, then karma, it's always going to happen. You're always going to find out one way or another. I know that some people kind of want to, because of trauma and experiences, they kind of want to be on that. What's that person doing, who they're with? But I checked your snap. Me not have time for that. So I will find out in my due course. And when I find out, it's peak for you, bruv. So I think that's where we're coming from.
Another bit, I'll add that bit. As well, intuition talks to you. So the voice inside doesn't lie. Okay, so you know if something is kosher and above board, but you equally know if it's a little bit underhand. And then you make the decision from there. But unfortunately, what we do is we see red flags, but because we want this relationship so bad,
come on,
we just get comfortable and be like, he's that guy. Well, no, the red flag is there. But very often we don't act upon the red flag. So I think that if you're in a relationship and you're kind of thinking like, is he or is he not? Maybe you're not in the right relationship.
Right. And if you're not communicating it, I think sometimes as well as women, we will belly. So we will see a red flag, we will know that this is something that breaches our boundaries, but we don't say anything. We have this little habit of saving it all up. And then poor you now think you're nice. No? Yeah. And then poor you now think you're nice, and it's just take this one time, you get the wrong thing on the Chinese. So I think also communicating whilst all this is going on is really important. To set out your boundaries, share your intuition with your partner as well. But I think the Cluzo business, we're not into that, no?
All right, so Quincy wants to say something.
All right, so let me ask you this thing, all right? So I'm a strong believer in that sometimes, unfortunately, women don't handle the truth, yeah? So if you listen to that, the inner voice in you, and you ask your partner, are you still talking to your ex-partner? And he says, yes, I am. Where do you want the conversation to go from there?
No, that's fine. That's fine. It depends on your emotional intelligence.
And
if you're going to ask a question, be ready for the answer.
Right.
Yeah. Man or woman?
Yeah, all right, huh? Yeah, right. and you say to him, okay, then so you're okay with me talking to my ex-partner? He goes, yeah, go on, knock yourself out. That's his response.
I would never say I want to talk back to
No, no, man. I've said that.
Take the mic to her.
All right. I'm the mic girl today.
Coming in, Dr. Phil.
You have to think, what's the priority? Keeping your current relationship happy or your ex? Which is the priority? Which are you going to put the most energy into progressing? The previous or the future?
Come on now. Come on now.
Sometimes that's some kind of control, you know. Like, let me keep my... No, hold on a minute. Before you was with your current... the current partner you're with now and the partner you was with before, we're friends. We know each other. So the long and the short of it is, now I'm with you, I've got to cut her off, yeah, because you not feel comfortable with what I'm doing. Sometimes that's control. But you're saying, remember, sometimes women have this inner thing inside of them that says, he's doing something, but he's not. No. Sometimes, right, but sometimes the voice gets confused. Doesn't lie. It don't lie, it gets confused. So where the gentleman in hand may be possibly, because I'm going to say possibly having a conversation with his ex and possibly a bit of bantering going on. Because I'm not going to sit here and say that it don't happen. Yeah? Now, you may misconstrue that as being more than what it is. So your voice inside will say, it will pop up and say, I'm not too comfortable with this. What's going on?
Can I say something? On the back of that again. I'm always on the back of things, guys. So let me tell you, the thing, what you just said, I hear what you're saying, but remember as well, because there's quite a big divide, I've noticed, the men and the women, okay? And there's no divide. We rock the same, okay? What I'm going to say to you is this. When the voice says something's happening, I'm going to be honest, you as the man might not actually think something's happening. But we as women can see when she's not just trying to be a friend. Women can see that. And very often, I've had men friends, they're like, oh no, she doesn't like me. I'm like, babes, wake up. And that's the thing that you guys don't do, because what I do find with some men, you're a bit naive.
All right. Okay, go on.
On the back of what you've just said, I think it's about transparency. I think it's about having, if that inner voice triggers off something and your intuition's telling you something doesn't feel right, I'm just getting a feeling something doesn't feel right, it's then up to you as the individual to have a transparent conversation and for clarity, she's your friend, what does this friendship look like? And I think once a conversation is had, you then continue setting boundaries and asking the appropriate questions. In terms of what you're saying about men and women think differently, to a certain extent, yes. However, I feel it's the woman's role to guide. If your intuition's telling you something and my man's not coming correctly, then you have to say, listen, this is what I feel. If you want this to work, let us have an open and frank conversation. And if you feel he's not being transparent, it's up to you as the individual to take your love elsewhere.
But you know what?
Just give Oprah a run money, boy.
Okay. But just going back to what I was saying from before, yeah? I hear what you're saying, Simone, about how sometimes women can see things that the man can't see. No, we don't pretend. Yeah? So, right? Sometimes women for some reason are born in another planet and can look over there and go, she fancies you. Fine. Okay, we can't see that. But then having said that, just because we can't see that doesn't mean we're going to conform to that she fancies you. Some people could fancy people from afar and not even have a conversation. Does that mean we have a problem then because they fancy us? Or if they come up to us and say, hi, how are you? And then the woman's sitting there thinking, she fancies him, you know. What are we supposed to do? So at the end of the day, going back to what the situation is at hand, having a conversation with your ex every day, I'm a man, yeah? It depends what the conversation is going to be. And if you feel that it's a conversation of, I want to get back with you, it's down to the man or vice to the woman to say, I'm not in that place. So if you want to speak to me on a daily basis, which I'm cool with, as long as you're not going down that road, we're good.
But good. If want to speak to you every day just to shoot the shit. What do you think that's about?
I think that, as the lady said, they possibly still have attachment to you, still, but you know what? You might be helping them to ease that attachment away.
By talking every day? No. It's not your job. It's not your job.
I just wanted to say, it might not be that person's job, Trisha, but we have to take into account that not everybody is built the same. So, you know, maybe, for context also, maybe this has been a long-term relationship, 15 years or more. The breakup, maybe the new man that you're with told her, I'm not feeling this anymore, and just bounced, but still has a conversation. I'm saying other people's emotions also have to be taken into consideration. Now, I'm not saying, okay, what happened on my watch, every day you're going to be speaking and it's skedaddle and foolishness. But I think also what you have to allow is your partner, knowing how you feel, knowing that the boundaries, and the really interesting point that sister made is that boundaries change throughout a relationship. So what I put up with in the beginning, I'm going to put up with no more. What I put up with now, I might not put up with. So boundaries change, and your intuition changes. And I think there has to be an allowance. I feel, as a woman in a relationship, I have to allow my partner to use what he's got, backed up by my intuition, to make the right decision for this woman that rings every day. But if I feel at any time that with my intuition and with his own decision-making, knowing how I feel and how the relationship is built, he can't make the right decision for me and him, I'm gone. I feel honestly, as a woman, sometimes as women, we take up too much things, which is not ours to carry. You must allow the man to use his own intuition. Because they're not children. We need to stop babying them. They must, knowing that you're their new woman, this is how you feel, this is how the situation makes you feel, what is right and what is wrong, what is appropriate and what is inappropriate, what they would want for themselves. Given all of that, allow them to make the decision. But you see, anyhow that decision is not the right one for you, then you're just gone.
Yeah. Audience comment, 1 sec.
I just feel that if you're talking to your ex every day, to me it sounds like you're not ready to move on. You're not ready for a new relationship. You should have time for yourself to work out who you are, what you are. You know, there's things like spirit sharing. That spirit hasn't moved from you if you're talking to that person every day.
Can't say it any better. Spirit sharing. You know what I mean? Because there are such things as soul ties and attachments. And if you're entertaining that every day, no one's not ready to move on. You going, Steve? No. All right, come on, 1 minute. Come. Come, quick. Come. He tried to sneak out. So, I caught you. But we've got gift bags for all of you guys. So we've got some guys, the rum puncher, get to me. We've got some gift bags for the guys, and it's sponsored by Pride and Gifted. And we've got T-shirts in there. So I wanted...
Thank you.
And Stephen is like one of these characters that is bubbly. When we saw him at Coco Black, we literally ended it. We went, because he's just one of those people. He's got a beautiful spirit. He's got a company that supports young people and does great things. So I want you to talk to them about it so that you get the sentiment behind the gift when you get it.
Evening, ladies and gentlemen. Stephen, founder of Proud and Gifted. I go around the UK and I celebrate and award young people that's doing amazing things. Why do I do this? Because there's not enough focus on positive young people we have around us. So each young person is presented with certificate, a merchandise, and sometimes a medal or trophy. Why do I do this? Just to show them how inspiring they are. And I'd like to say, I've never done this publicly, Gary is my advisor for Pride and Gifted. Here you are. And he is. We're 4 years old now. I've celebrated in person and a combination of young people's stories online, 482 young people that we've celebrated. That's cool. So Trisha's always been a big supporter of Pride and Gifted, so to me it was an honor when she asked me to supply T-shirts for the gentlemen only, not for the ladies. So, so gents, I think There should be enough in it. Yeah. So, gents, there's a T-shirt in there. All I'd like you to do is just take a picture, if you're not mine, and just tag Proud and Gifted, so that I can just show people that I sponsored the event. But no, 4 years celebrating young people. Yeah, it's mad. Because my job, I support and assist young people in police stations and vulnerable adults, just as an appropriate adult, just to safeguard their rights, make sure they're looked after. I could have easily done the knife crime gang thing. To me, that's an easy route out. I want to celebrate positive young people. So that's why I've took the hard road, but it's cool because as long as I can inspire one young person, yeah, man, I'm happy. I'm proud and gifted. What do we do? Celebrate young people's achievements. Thank you. Oh, and I'd like to say to the panel, the question, just trust your partner. It's not hard.
Good night, Stephen.
Bye.
Goodbye, Stephen.
Bye, Stephen.
Also, is Charlene still on the... She's still there. Also, hold her up so she can see. Also, we've got a friend that couldn't be here with us today, but she also sponsored the event. Her name's Charlene Samuel. So can everyone say thank you and hello to Charlene? Hey! Cheers to Charlene. Without Charlene, you wouldn't have the goodie bags, you wouldn't have the little pretty flower up on the table and all these things. So thank you so much, Charlene. We love you. And the next event, you definitely have to be here. We love you. Mwah. Mwah, 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 mwah. All right, what's the next topic?
This is quite a basic topic. It was one that got quite a huge response. It says, what do you hate most about starting a new relationship?
Then stop with this entrapment thing, sorry. Because he called us the entrapment twins and it stuck. People really think we're out here to set people up and we're not. So stop it. Just stop it. There was another one you wanted to discuss as well, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm getting that one out. What do you hate most about starting
So
a new
what do we hate
relationship?
most about starting a new relationship? For me, it's a stupid small talk. How was your day? How was your day? Ugh. Oh, about exes. The entanglements. The entanglements.
What do you hate?
No, can I move this one on?
All right. For me, personally, it's been a long time since I've had a new relationship. A long, long time. But when I started that new relationship, it was integrating him into, like, the kids situation.
I'm blocking anyone.
You know, because I've got kids for someone else. So bringing him in, and my girls were looking at me like, who's that? Who's he? So that took a lot of... That was a thing that I didn't quite enjoy.
God, I haven't had a relationship for a very long time. I've been single forever. I think what I'll find difficult is my family. I cherish my family so much. And I just think that anybody that comes into that space has to be someone really special. Because I do believe I have a very special family. I have wonderful sons, an amazing granddaughter. And I'm like, I do want to share that with someone, but yeah, the coming into that space is going to be not easy. Me, I'm fine, I'm open. But I just think trusting someone in and around my family, in and around my intimate setting is what is.
People are very good at wearing masks.
To be honest with you,
for
as well,
a long
and
time as well.
I've been single, I think, if I'm going to be very open and honest here, I think that's why I've been single for this length of time, because I just feel like I've worked so hard. I've raised my 2 sons to adult life on my own, and I just don't want anything or anyone to come along and even taint that for a second. And I've got sons that will go prison, so don't hurt me. Literally, I got good boys. I got good boys, but they will hurt you, literally, you know? So I don't want to put my sons through that. I don't want to put my mum through that. I don't want to put my grandchild through that. So I'm just a little bit cautious at the moment.
We didn't have any problems, did we, Quince? We're fine. I already loved his boys and he got on with mine. It was brilliant. It was really good, yeah. Yeah, it's been fantastic. I haven't. So I've been in a relationship for a little bit of time now. So what couldn't I stand? I think like yourself. So I have a very what do you call it when it's blended family? I have 2 different children's fathers for my 3 children. So I have 1 with one and 2 with another, and they are still like we do everything as a family. So what I was worried about, I think, was how the new partner was going to see all of that. Because actually, if you're not involved, that what I've just described might look like one big bag of mess. For real, what? You're still, what? So that's, but actually it works. And what has been beautiful about it is it's worked for the children. So effectively they've been raised by 3 black men that have been invested in their lives, if I include my new partner. So I think for me, that was my biggest issue. What does this look like to an outside person? This dysfunctional mess, made worse for the fact that my 2 children's fathers are Jamaican, so they kind of get it, because we live dysfunctional already. But the new guy was British like me and hadn't really been around that scene. So, well, but not really. Not as deep as it is, yeah, for real. So I was worried about that. And how the children, my children were really young. 18 months, 4 and 6. They're now 18, 16 and 14. But I remember one day, and I'll just share this with you, these are the things we have to talk about sometimes, yeah? My friends were like, yo, I had never really thought about this before, but you can't leave him with I've got 1 daughter. And I'd never really thought about that before. Obviously, I've heard the stories, but I had never really thought about him being a threat to my daughter in the house. So I think those are the things that I had to kind of, not that anything has ever happened, thank God, but the whole thing around the children, because you have to be careful. And when you've got 2 baby fathers whose head is chipped, you really have to be careful. Because them man, they will kill people and go back a yard. You know, them man stay ready. So, you know, I think it was... No, they will do it for their sons as well. Like, don't get this thing twisted. So for me, it was all about merging this really Jamaican hyperculture with this guy who's from Broccoli. How was it going to work? And I'm happy to tell you all it's worked really well, and my children have benefited from it.
I think the worst thing getting to a new relationship is the children. For me, is when you meet your partner and they've got children bigger than you. You're like, raw. The bigger than you, the children, when you meet the partner, children, you're like, the fuck must I fight this bread? But I got to join fitness first to beat up this son. I'll go around the house and do push-ups before I open the door. That happened to me one time. This is my daughter's mum. So me and her finished, yeah, and then she met another guy, yeah. And I got to the door to pick up my daughter, and I saw a shadow. And I thought, are the lights off? It was his back. It was massive. I was like, what the hell? And then he had his children who were just as big. And I was like, this is not going to work, because I have to call backup for this bread. But what I'm trying to say, that for me, it is the children. And until you said it on the real, like, I've got a daughter, and I suppose I've been in situations where I've been with daughters, and you've never thought about it. You've never thought about it. So I suppose, yeah, feeling uncomfortable, because even though you know you're not going to do nothing, but it's how society has geared us thinking that way. You know what I mean? That's a scary part of the relationship. You know what I mean? So yeah, so if I'm with someone and they say, could you watch the children? I'll be Facebooking live in that. 5 minutes, yeah, Facebook live.
It's flashing, yeah.
Is it? Oh, there we go.
Sorry. So for me, I would say that one of the conversations I kind of don't like having, I'll be open and honest, is like the intimacy of what you like and don't like in the bedroom. I think that's very honest conversation you should have, because your partner that you might be meeting or getting into might be into some things that you're just not into in the bedroom. But it's an honest conversation that you should...
Now we're talking.
No.
How do you bring that conversation up about what you like in the bedroom?
No, but eventually you will be having them kind of conversations.
Yeah,
you will eventually.
No. I have never, all right, when I was dating or getting with my husband or whatever, we never had conversations about what we liked in the bedroom. It happened. It wasn't a conversation. We found out
Some
what we
people do,
each
some
liked in the
don't.
bedroom. We didn't sit down and talk. I didn't talk about it.
But you know what? I agree with you. In today's day and age, I think it is a conversation you need to have. It is a conversation you need to have. Donna, I'm going to turn off the mic. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. All right, audience comment.
Me and Donna are stranglers, yeah? We're stranglers.
Hi guys. Is this on? Oh, it is. I just wanted to add, I agree with a lot of the comments that were said, but I think a lot of the problems that we have today, regardless of age, I think is because we don't communicate. So in the beginning stages when people are getting to know each other, or even when you do in the early stages of being intimate, having those conversations of what you do like, what you don't like, what your boundaries are. I think because a lot of people don't have these conversations, a lot of people are just not satisfied and they don't speak, and a lot of women are not having orgasms and all these different things, but it does happen. Not all the time, like, don't get me wrong, some people don't have the conversations and it goes off well, but I think it is a bit of luck, but you hear these conversations a lot, especially with women, like, they don't speak or they're scared to speak. And it's not just about sex, because it's other things in relationships as well that you're not happy with. Like, you'll complain about it to your friends, but then not keep it real with the person you're with. You just get irritated, and then we keep having the same problems. So,
as we said before, things change, innit? So obviously, I'm not saying I've never had a conversation about what I like and don't like. I was saying in the beginning stages, it's not something that I've done. But I'm saying, like, you're completely 100% right. Communication is key.
I'm scared. Of what?
What you're gonna say?
No, because I think your point is an excellent point for two reasons. One, historically, black women have had no autonomy over their bodies, so we are the least likely to say what it is we like from what we don't like. And this is a real problem for us.
Absolutely.
Because we enter into these relationships, and exactly as you say, we ring our friends and we're like, 3 minutes.
Dead.
3 minutes, and he couldn't find a man in a boat. You know, they're weird. So
Wait, the guys are gasping back here, you know. The guys are gasping.
because it's true. And then sexually, the men say people are frigid. It's not that we're frigid, that we've not had that communication. I've not told you what I like. And when you're doing it wrong, I'm not saying, no. Do you understand? So I think that's a really good point.
Do you think it's because we don't know what we like?
I agree. Listen, can I just say something really honestly? For a lot of black women in this room, I think the two most important things we've ever heard growing up is to keep it clean and keep it for our husband. We're not really encouraged to explore our sexuality because there's a whole taboo with it about sexuality, and we all know where it stems from. I'm just saying, for a lot of black women, our sexuality and what we like has never been number one on the agenda.
Right.
That we are there to accommodate a man and have children has. And so because of that, we've kind of like functioned, but we've not really explored our sexuality.
Yeah.
And for me, the reason you have to have the conversation earlier on is, me nah sleep with nobody can't strangle good. So, no, we don't want any half stranglers out here. We don't want any part stranglers.
Can I claim a moment of praise on that?
Well,
stranglers. They clutch pearls back here. They're clutching their pearls.
Obviously, I haven't lived.
They're clutching their pearls to us.
What?
Everybody, they clutch their pearls.
No, but on a real, growing up in a black household, most times no one spoke about what they did like to dinner. Men spoke about it all the time because we're men. You know what I mean? But even then, no, we wouldn't talk
Yeah,
to...
bravado all day.
Yeah, but men wouldn't talk to another... And men would have banter with another man about, yeah, man, a murder last night. Yeah, that's banter. But we don't actually tell another man, yeah, man, I like this, I like that, I like... Yeah? So, women coming to a man, I'm going to be real. As a youngster, when I was younger, if a woman come up to me and told me exactly what she wanted and how she wanted and what she liked, I'd be looking thinking, how much men have you slept with? That's what would pop up in a man's head.
Right.
Because back then, it was taboo. It was taboo.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you start wondering, she sounds a lot more experienced than I am. You know what I mean? And it might put the man off.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or you're
All
freaky.
the way off, Des.
Or you're freaky. Yeah, we do, but we just pretend we don't want one, but we do.
So we're concerned with body count, but we want a freak. It makes no sense. Well, no, they don't know what they want.
They don't. Do you know what as well? I think one of the worst things is,
Not
like you said,
tutorials
it's not
on
always
YouTube.
easy. Sorry guys. It's not always easy to be open, as you say. So I think one of the worst things is when you are open, you tell them if they want to know, and then they do their own thing anyway. That's annoying. Don't do that. So I think that can be one of the hardest things, because it is hard to open up. And then when you do find someone and you're like, all right, let me open up. What do you like? What do you want? And you have that conversation, and they do everything apart from what you said.
Yeah.
That's annoying.
The clitoris is not a lift button. Yeah. Sorry, Mum. Oh, I forgot Mum was there. I forgot Mum was in the audience.
And remember,
anyway, moving on to audience comment.
Can I? I just wanted to commend the sister who actually brought up that issue, because I think it takes a lot of courage in any kind of forum to raise the points that you did, because I think it's crucial. So I applaud you for doing that. I think that there are so many issues, so many factors that come into play around the beginning stages of a relationship. But when it comes to the sexual aspect, I think the way women, in particular, women, black women of African descent, have been socialized in terms of what to do and what not to do. It's impacted us, and for many of us, it's created trauma. And the other issue is the sister who said that because of your children and so forth, it's a barrier for you to enter any relationship. That made me sad, because whenever you read any statistics relating to relationships, those who are single are always black women. Black women are always the one single. The highest, when it comes to data, it's always black women. And for me, when your children are grown, you're left by yourself. And it's so important to create a space for yourself where you're loved. But I think, first of all, that love comes from you as an individual. But I think it's crucial to remember not everybody's the same. There are some horror stories. And working in education and working in social care, you hear horror stories around abuse, around how a man's come into a family home and done things to a child. But there are always wonderful stories where you see families blended, as the other sister shared. So I think it's about taking a chance on love, being open to it. And also that's a good model for your children to see. So I would encourage, I really would encourage, don't close yourself off. There are some really wonderful black men out there, absolutely wonderful. I'm yet to meet, but still. But
so can I want to thank you.
You know, but I say I'm a real supporter of black love. I really am. So I would say to you, please open yourself up. Don't see it as an opportunity. Oh God, stop it.
So I'm gonna she just said she's yet to meet.
See, please see it as an opportunity to do what works for you. Having conversations about what meets your sexual needs are so crucial, because for too long we've sat down there, lied there, and pretended it was great.
Yeah.
Frightened for the backlash, frightened to be called a freak, frightened to be called a slag, a this. What was the what is it? A sket. That's what one of the things were. A sket. All these horrible terminology, but I think having that conversation is crucial, and it's crucial for your own development.
So thank you. That was actually a lovely comment. I think she deserves a round of applause for that comment. So thank you. Sorry?
Come inside.
No, I just want to say, let me give a little qualify that statement that I made. So yes, you're right. I do need to open up to relationships, and I am open right now. But I'm talking about in the past, okay? But what I'll also say is, because we are speaking a lot about black women, I do think there's a requirement on us to change a lot, okay? So especially if you're someone that's you're doing really well, you're financially well, so you don't necessarily require a man for certain things. You require a man just to be a partner, right? And I think very often as black women, we're asked to dumb down ourselves, okay? We're asked to be a little bit softer, a little bit more, a bit more feminine in our approach, okay? And I think when you look at social media on the whole nowadays, I think they really do give us a hard time. Black women, we have a hard time. And I'm going to be honest with you. We have a hard time from our own black men. So I want to say something to what you said. I am very pro-black and I love black men, okay? But when you said there's a lot of good black men out there, I'm going to change that and say there's a lot of good men. Because we as black women are very loyal to black men, but black men are not necessarily loyal to us. And I'm just going to be...
They are not. Sorry.
So I'm going to be honest with you. I actually don't think love has a face. I don't think if you meet someone and he isn't a black man, he might love you. You might not, Donna. But the thing is, I'm going to be honest with you. Me personally, I don't think love any longer has a face for me, okay? I love men, and I do love black men, but I'm not going to be loyal to people that are not necessarily loyal to me. That's the truth.
So black men are at the back here gulping hard, yeah? Clutching pearls that are not here, but what do we want to say to that, black men? No, you say and then I'll see what they're going to say afterwards.
I was just picking up on what Natalie was saying about you could tell a guy what you want and then he does his thing. And I would say this, like any man, if you're just doing your thing and you can't read that woman's vibrations, then you're clearly selfish, yeah? And that's a point, as a man, that's when you should stop, because you say, well, what am I doing wrong? Read the vibrations of that woman, yeah? My number is...
No. Does that still happen? I just asking a question. Okay. Well, mine was a very short thing. I've never, ever, in the whole of my lifespan with my partner, spoken about what she likes or doesn't like. Yeah, straight.
Let's explore.
So, and if the relationship is that good, so to speak, you'll do things that you most of you wouldn't thought you would have done, regardless.
Yeah, no, so I've got some rules. I've got some rules. I don't care who you are, it's not happening.
So basically, but basically, Goody just said his woman suffers in silence.
Because in this day and age, women don't suffer in silence like that. If you're not, maybe some, but judging from the type of women that I date, they're very vocal. So they would actually say, it now worked for me. You know what I mean? So I reckon, some people have to have that conversation, some people don't. But if you're a person like to tie up people and strangle people and various things, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, Don, I'm not saying you, but if that's your bag, yeah, then maybe that's a conversation. Because some people might not be happy to be tied up or strangled or beaten with sticks. That's a conversation.
Okay.
1 second.
I was going to say, I was going to say, for me, the most important commodity I have is my time. And if I'm going to invest my time, then I want to know that the person I'm investing that time actually is going to bring about an outcome I want. So most of the things that got spoken about are relevant. They do need to be spoken about, including intimacy, because what's the point of investing my time to then find out we're not sexually compatible, and then I'm required to leave the woman because I'm not sexually compatible? Most people aren't going to take that well. Most people aren't going to be over the moon about that. So let's get that out at the beginning and then find out if this is something worth investing in to begin with.
Yeah.
I think for the amount of sexual trauma that we suffer in the black community, your point about investing your time, I think it's really important that you have the conversation, because men and women suffer from sexual trauma, but especially black women suffer from sexual trauma in our community. So if you're dating a girl or dating a woman, having that conversation is really important, because it's there that you're going to find out about, maybe it's the baby father or when she was young or whatever it is. I think it's really important, and actually this is about a skill set, isn't it? It is about how do you facilitate a conversation with somebody you've only just met, you're just getting to know, around something that's quite sensitive, but it's so necessary in our community, given that so many women, after so many years, leave relationships for sexual dissatisfaction. The same thing for men. But what that then happens is that's another black broken family, and those children suffer because of it. So I take your point about the investment in time. It's the most expensive, priceless thing that we have. And actually, this is actually quite, I thought it was a bit thoughtful at first, but now I'm taking it quite seriously, because we need to have these conversations, because it's only by having it that we can share the trauma and find out if somebody can do a one-handed strangulation. I was not going to go out like
Question
that.
or comment? Guys, we've got one audience question, and then remember what he was going to say in that, yeah?
Sorry, this is a little bit off topic, but we've kind of gone on talking about women sharing what they like, what they don't like. Do men ever have those conversations with their guy friends, saying that they don't feel satisfied because of whatever?
Or the female's dead.
Yeah. Do they have that same conversation?
Well, we don't go into detail like how women do. Yeah, women will, front, center, and back kind of thing. They will tell you exactly how it went. This is that, and he was dead or whatever. Men are just quite simple. I'm not going back there. She don't make it. She don't make it.
But okay, but can you actually make that decision off of one round? You can't, can you?
It wouldn't be one round, but you know what?
Hang on, my brother's saying yes.
As
we
we
need
said,
to elaborate. Go, Adrian.
But remember, sadly, the emphasis is always put on the man anyway. The man has to perform. The man has to stay on it for long. The man has to do. It's always on the man, because the women. I don't want to be rude, but it's no bravado. But at the end of the day, a woman can lay back and take it all. You know what I mean? No, but she can. But what I'm saying is, no, but I'm not saying that. I'm saying she can be penetrated for a good period of time, and doesn't have to, unless she's gonna dry up. Yeah. But a man has to stand on the land and perform accordingly. Otherwise, he's dead. You understand? So, but for me, as I said, if a woman can't show me the vibration that I'm showing her, she's dead.
Yeah.
First time.
Can I
Why
just
not?
say that the man has to walk across, go to the woman, ask her, and take that long walk back if you get blanked. Yeah? When you get to the bedroom, you're supposed to be performing. So if you're not performing, then you're going to get kicked to the curb. So why does it go one way but not the other? If the woman's not performing, then obviously she needs to get kicked to the curb. Yeah? I don't know about your second and third move. First move, suppose if you haven't got no potential, forget about it. Let's move to the next chapter.
Yeah, but don't you think that first time sometimes it could take a minute for you two to find your flow. Sometimes it might be an energy thing. Sometimes it might be nerves. It could be anything. I mean, second strike and you're out, but first strike.
We've got an audience comment after, so you're going to say something good, and then audience comment,
I just
yeah?
want to say one thing, like, just like how women can be quite dismissive if the man doesn't function according to plan on the first occasion, so can men. And I'm not saying, whose rule is it that we have to give you 2 or 3 chances? At the end of the day, if you've been speaking, unless of course it was a one-night stand, yeah? You met that night and you had sexual activity that night, then maybe you might be off your game if you was a bit drunk and she was a bit drunk. Maybe. But if you've been in this relationship with this girl and you're now getting to second base where you can have sexual activity, you've been speaking. So you must know what your vibrations are already. So the minute you hit that bedroom, you're supposed to perform. And if
Yeah, but there must have been times where you think this is going to be fire, and then actually it's dead.
Exactly, but then who decides then? Who decides whose fault it was, and 2, who's saying to themselves, well, I'm not going to give him a second chance, or I'm not going to give her a second chance. It kind of bounces both ways, but the difference being is with women, no, when men go with that expectation of I have to perform, so it's a pressure already.
Right.
Because if you don't perform, you're dead.
Audience comment. Audience comment.
Hi, I was just listening to everyone, and I think for me, the missing part is there's no connection here. There's no love making, there's no like intimacy. It's all about the performative aspect of sex, and like the comment you made about if you're not performing when you get there, you're out. And it's just like, where's the feeling? Who are these people and the intimacy that you're meeting, that you're going in? I mean, one night stands, that's a different scenario. But I mean, if you're actually meeting someone going through the dating process, you're telling me they get one shot in the bedroom and they're out, or I don't know what, and maybe that's the problem, and the expectations are just too high and ridiculous. Like, in my opinion, this doesn't account for any other context. You know, like, people do have days where a lot, like if you're saying there's trauma, for instance, this is said there's trauma. Things are going to come into your head, things are going to be, you know, maybe not that you're thinking of your ex, not in an intimate way that you're reminiscing, but there's other things that come into play psychologically when you're having sex and intimate moments. I just think we've kind of denigrated it right down to the basic base. They're performing and nothing else, and it just made me feel a bit sad, to be honest. It's all bravado. It doesn't.
And we don't have none of that here.
Yeah, so it's a bit sad, really. But,
Okay, so I've got a question for the guys as well, because a guy once said to me that sometimes with guys they get something called post-nut syndrome. Post-nut syndrome. So he explained it, and he said sometimes a guy can think he really likes a girl. He can really believe in his head that he likes a girl, but as soon as he nuts, he realizes that it ain't nothing. It weren't nothing but that post-nut syndrome.
Go ahead.
So coming from a person who probably talks about this more than most of you lot do, day to day, I work in sexual health. So it is really every day, or nearly every other day, someone will come in and say they've had some sort of sexual trauma, men, women, and they're scared about getting into next relationships. So they feel added pressure, say, my partner assaulted me, my last partner assaulted me. So now I scared every time I get near a guy, I freeze up, I get hard, or soft, or whatever. Asian people come in, I've got no power. That's their favourite word, can't get erections. Yeah, most Asian men come in every day, no power. How can I get power? Every day. So the added pressure. Yeah. Right. So when especially black people as a whole, and I'm talking about the older black people, I'm classing ourselves as older black people. Younger black people girls don't have these issues. They're coming to my clinic, they've had sex with X amount of people, this is what I want, and they're very clear about what they want. I find it's with people above 40 that have issues explaining and talking about their sexuality. and because how you're brought up. Younger people don't really have these conversations. The girl comes in my clinic, 18-year-old girl come in, yeah, I have anal sex. At your age, yeah, 14-year-old, yeah, I've had this, I did oral sex. I'm like, that's not really normal, but this is what I want. And they're quite open about that. So I think this stuff is more about people our age that are like, yeah, and they're kind of repressed. Once you get to like over the 40s, then you can start talking certain things. You start saying to people, your partner, I like this, I don't like that. One thing I will say about, when you said about black women trauma, it is endemic for years and years and years, some of the things that you have to go through. But don't take that away from the black guys. Black guys are seen about people having big things, and those pressures are hard. If you know your penis isn't as big as someone else's, those pressures are hard. Yes, that was doing it, Donna.
I'm going to pray for Donna.
I mean, but we under... Yeah.
I can't. You're all right, love? Well, all right. I'm lost for words.
Go on.
Oh, are we moving on to the next topic? Yeah. So is the next topic the
The one that Simone picked up today. So it said that people are dating 18 to 23-year-olds to avoid grown woman pressure. So what do we think the psychology is behind those? Do we think that's a true statement?
All right, so let me add some layers to it. So there's a lot of people who like Kevin Samuels out here, may I look pun you? Yeah, right. So there's people that Kevin Samuels thinks that women my age are over the hill. So what he's advocating for is the younger woman. And we're asking, is it because the grown-up woman or the older woman is more clued up, and the younger woman you're able to control? You don't want to take the big woman pressure out here. What is it?
Can I ask you, Trisha, when
Yeah.
you're saying that, the context is we're over the hill because of our age or because...
Yeah, Kevin Samuels and his fans think that we're over the hill if we've got kids over a certain age, and no one don't want your bag of pick-me. If you are just of a certain age.
Of a certain size.
Of a certain size.
If you're in a certain tax bracket.
Yeah.
But
So
R.I.P.
he
to Kevin
plays-
Samuels, by the way.
Oh, bye.
But he
yeah.
did die in the room with an escort.
With
But
a-
anyway,
with a-
we'll not talk about that.
Surrounded by cocaine and Red Bull.
Yeah,
But,
just saying. But
hey,
anyway.
we're just saying.
But we don't want to speak ill of the dead. So the reason I picked up this topic today is I've got a real issue with it because, so let's talk about Lauren Harvey. Is that her name, Lauren Harvey? Laurie Harvey. So I think she's 26. And her first open public relationship that I saw her in was with P. Diddy. So she dated P. Diddy, who is what, 50-something? And she at the time was 26. And she had previously dated his son.
Yeah.
Yeah. I found that
That
odd.
was a bit messy, though. That was a bit messy.
Yeah, and then after she left P. Diddy, she then went to Michael B. Jordan. Now, Michael B. Jordan's about 40 plus, right? Now, is he younger? Okay, anyway. I just think that, and this is not about her. This is not about her personally. This is just, I'm just very uncomfortable in a world that thinks it's okay for a man that's 50 plus to date someone who's 26. Because I'm just going to be honest with you. If we move that down a little bit, that's paedophilia. Okay? No, hold on. Wait. I'm not saying that is now, okay? She's a consenting adult. But at 26, I have a 26-year-old son. My 26-year-old son cannot bring a woman older than me home. No. You better know it's my business. Because she's not coming in my house. Because what does a 50-plus-year-old woman or man have in common with a 20-something-year-old? The conversation, forget the sexual bit. The conversation is not going to be in depth. My son doesn't know what to talk about. At 26, Me and him can't have a conversation.
I think that's disparaging to both sets of age groups.
No, it is. It is.
No, I'm saying what you're saying. No, I'm saying on this one we're not together.
No, we're not.
I'm saying I think that's disparaging for the 26-year-olds. I know some 26-year-olds got their shit together. They're very mature. They're into business. They're into property. They're into a whole range of things. But I don't necessarily think that because somebody's 26, that completely excludes them from any kind of meaningful life where we conversation with somebody's 50 odd.
I'm not saying
You said remove the sex.
At 53,
What's your intent with a 26?
26-year-old. Just what is it? Because the 26-year-old.
Same.
Hold on. The 26-year-old that previously dated your 20-odd-year-old son.
No, given. No, hold on a minute.
That's
No,
not normal.
this is why I asked for context about the layers. If you're saying that particular young lady, Stephen P. Diddy, then his son, that's some Channel 5 business. But if you're saying in general, if a man is 53 and he likes a 26-year-old, I'm not saying. I think we live in a time now where it's all about age, but I'm saying really and truly.
I think it's wrong. I don't like it. That's just me.
And the question was what, Natalie?
Do you think that people that date 18 to 23-year-olds, basically young people, they're avoiding big woman pressure, basically?
I wouldn't call it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't call it
Because big women, they know what we know what we're about, innit? So.
But why is the word pressure?
It's just the way it's articulated, but
Do you know what as well? There was an article a few months ago about Leonardo DiCaprio. So every time his girlfriends turn 25, he gets rid of them. And gets a younger model, and they're trying to decipher what that was about.
Hold on. Woody Allen married his adopted daughter, but we're in a world that thinks that's okay.
But equally, I know.
It is illegal.
But equally, I know rich white women who don't date anything over 35, and as soon as the new teen gets them age there, they discard it and they go for the next.
Because it's a toy. It's a toy. But that's a mess. It's a mess.
Nikki, what say you? You've been quiet on the panel today. What say you?
Nikki's eating sweets.
Because
Nikki eats sweets.
I got
Sorry,
daughters
guys.
that are 28. And if they came home with someone in their 50s, I'm going to cuss. Bad word. In front of him. And I'm going to ask
front of him, yeah?
Right in front of him, what do you want with my daughter? And honest, and I'm not saying it doesn't happen. I'm not saying it don't happen. You know, my daughter's dad is a few years older than me. Not that much, but he's a few years older than me. My husband is a few years older than me. But when he's coming to like twice your age, I think I would like to dig a little deeper, because I couldn't imagine my daughter's husband or my daughter's partner or whatever being closer to my age than hers.
Yeah, do you think there's some sort of ulterior motive behind that? What we're trying to get to is, what is it that the older man or the older woman wants with the younger? Okay.
Yeah. I think, sorry, Desmond. My daughter is here today. She's out serving drinks. And I always think about her bringing someone twice her age. And it can't run. It can't. And I can't even explain. I'd be lying trying to sit here and think of a reason. Just in my head, it can't run. That's it. I don't care. You can't bring a guy home that's like in his 50s. You're 20. Like, it just doesn't feel right.
With somebody who's 45,
Thank you.
And I also think that... Sorry, go on.
Go, finish your comment.
No, I also think that, you know, we have to take it in its individuality. And, you know, we've got to look at these men. And it's not like, someone said it earlier on, the girls, the younger women of today know what they want. So are they actually avoiding big woman syndrome? Because the young women of today come like big women still. They've got their shit together. They're doing their thing. Do you know what I'm saying? Like I'm saying, my daughter's 28. She's bought her flat. She's getting married. She's doing a lot more than what I was doing at 28. I wasn't doing that at 28 of what she's doing now. So the younger women of today they're at a certain level that these older men probably are thinking like, rare, they're all right still. And magic happens sometimes. Sometimes there are sleazy men that want young gal. We have to admit that. There's men out there that want young gal. But there are men out there that, I shouldn't say men, there's couples out there and they just click and it happens and it works. And they might be 20 years apart, but it works. So I think we've got to look at the cases in its individuality.
If it's 20 years and my daughter's 20 and you're like, or 30 years, that's, if my daughter's 40, that's her business if she goes with someone 20 years older or 30 years older than her.
Maybe, and I'm just saying, as somebody who works with a lot of women, so in the community I work with, I support don't leave. The rum punch is very nice, everyone. But as somebody who works with a lot of women in the community across London, I think that younger women are better communicators. And I think that's a fair indication, like where we are as women, but especially as black women. And I say that the fact that they are clearer and better communicators has come at the expense of us, so the generation who wasn't taught how to do that, but taught to accommodate everybody. So they're standing on our shoulders. I think that's something that has to be said as we stand on the shoulders of people like Mum, who definitely never had no voice in her domestic setting. We did have a little bit because we did have youth club. We could go down there and act like we're bad and come home. But the younger generation are better communicators. They hold no bars, as you say. They're about it in a way that we weren't for a whole range of reasons. And that could be a reason why maybe older men prefer them. And also, you know, you guys have said men consistently. I've listened. And I'm no man hater, but I'm going to say this. There are women who equally, if they have the leverage, just date young man. I know them. I try and get some, because my man's a bit older than me as well. I try and get some phone numbers, but it's not really working for me. But I think it's a people thing. I think sometimes when you look at your life, you look at where you are, you might want a younger person. Maybe they make you feel younger about yourself. Maybe you've made poor decisions, and so you want to reinvent yourself. So you want a younger person. I don't think it's a man thing. I think it's a human response, and what you want is what you want. Do I agree that sometimes if the age gap, it looks a bit spurious? Yes, definitely. And I think that's... Yeah. But I think we should stop on this particular question saying it's just men, because what it looks like, the subliminal message is that men that like younger women are perverts, that they just want these girls because they're stupid and we're the only ones that have any wisdom. And I think there's a lot of wisdom to be found, and I have found this with younger women.
Before I comment, Natalie, if you could read the question again, please.
I feel Desmond pressure now. Okay.
You don't know.
He said 18 to 23-year-olds are people are dating 18 to 23-year-olds to avoid big woman pressure. So it was a statement. So we're saying, do you agree with that statement in some cases?
And the simple answer to that is no. Men aren't doing that to avoid big women pressure. And the contents that it was taken from, or what you've married it to in terms of Kevin Samuels, if you actually listen to Kevin Samuels, he's talking about high-value men. He's not talking about all men. He's not talking about average men. He's talking about a specific set of men which only make up a maybe 8 to 10% of the...
But what is his...
No.
But what is a high-value man, yeah.
Right. Okay. Right. So in terms of when he was talking about high value, it was an educated man. It was a man that had worked to achieve his status in life, i.e. if he was a managing director, if he was a CEO. It wasn't a case of he was a sports person, he couldn't be a musician, you couldn't be an actor, because they all gave you money that, as far as he's concerned, you didn't use your talent to get, as opposed to you had to do the hard slog to get a business from nothing to something, and then actually make 7 figures plus off of your business. So that's what he was referring to when he said high value men.
Wait. I just want, no. I want to just touch. I want you to land, but I want to touch into that bit. No, don't tell me no, Donna. Listen, finances and achievements. Hold on. finances and achievements can never equate to somebody being high value.
If no,
No, I know that's what he said. Yeah, but
so
that can't be.
no. See, I'm not here to dispute
Yeah.
and define what a high definition man is. What I'm saying is that's what Kevin Samuels was referring to. Now we're all going to have a different definition in our mind of what you class high value. Now some people are going to say a spiritual level. Some people are going to say an emotional level. Some people are going to say success outcomes that you've been able to get. So everyone's definition is going to be different. But he was speaking off of his own definition. And what he was trying to say was these people have options. And that's what a lot of people didn't like to hear. So because of the success that they had accumulated, Andy Bezos, the owner of, Jeff Bezos, sorry, the owner of Amazon, etc., etc. So at his stage in life, he has options, he has choices. He doesn't have to accept the first thing that walked his way. If he didn't like it, he was able to pick, choose, and refuse. Now, it's to understand that not everybody has that ability to do that. I'm an average guy, so therefore I don't get to pick, choose, and refuse, etc. No.
But this is the problem, Desmond. This is the problem, though. I'm going to say this is the problem. Society has built in and bought into that we don't have options if we don't have certain things. Now, let me explain to you. Whilst I hear what you're saying, like the wealthy man can pick up the girl that's got the silicone tits and the big bum and all that stuff, yeah? Right. He can pick up that. But do you know this is why most billionaires, most millionaires, a lot of these wealthy men, these are the ones that jump out the window and kill themselves. Because actually, there's no substance, yeah? And substance is what gives you value, okay? We need to move away from finances because each and every single one of us in here actually does have options. And I'm never ever going to allow anyone, Kevin Samuels, anyone else to tell me I don't have options because I absolutely do. Guess what? You, what I should have said. You absolutely do have. You're not an average man, by the way. You're a very handsome man, by the way. I'm going to tell you that off the bat. I mean, I look nobody. No, I'm not looking no one. I'm not. No. Because I'm quite an honest chick. I'd let you know if you was average. You are not. But you, if you believe, so a man thinketh, so a man is. None of us in here are average unless you want to be average. I'm telling you now, I have got options.
See, whilst I fully agree with you, unfortunately, society and the system will have it different. Whether we like it or not, you've got the haves and you've got the have-nots. It came from somewhere. You've got upper class, middle class, lower class, and you've got you've got destitute. Unfortunately, we can all try to say, we could be destitute and try and sit here and say, I'm not an average person, I'm this, I've got options, blah, blah, blah. And we'd all look at that person and think, what? Let's keep it real. So unfortunately, society does have standards. We don't have. No. I didn't just talk about money. There were other things that I stated. There were other things that I stated in that. In terms of when you build a business from nothing to something, you've got the feeling and the sense of achievement. You've done something. You've created something. And you've created something that the mass actually want. That's a sense of achievement. So it's not wholly and solely about money. Money doesn't maketh the man. Do you understand? So I fully understand that. But at the same time, I'm just saying society does see certain things, whether we like that or not.
Yeah, but we keep buying into it.
I just wanted to say, Trisha, before you get a comment from the audience.
Yeah.
One of the things I've been advocating for about the last couple of years is that we stop using, as a black community, European metrics to describe us.
Absolutely.
Because you see, this is the damage that it does. Desmond is saying that there is average. Another man in America will know said there is high value. We are all just, I don't know what that is.
Someone's ringing. Okay. Go on with it. Sorry, Donna.
These things are not for us. They do not describe us. We are, and I don't mean to get emotional, but we are like a foreign people in a foreign land. So when we use these metrics to describe and divide one another, these are European, these are white, these are not ours to own. None of us in this room, even if we are millionaires, compared to the other millionaires that are not from our demographic, will always be the average. So I say that to say, what we need to start doing is having measurements of what is good and what is bad according to us, for us. Yes. So I'm saying a good man, a man I consider to be a good man was my father, the son of an illiterate man who came here, went to school here, had a little bounce around building company, but was able to make sure before he died at 61 that all of his children got a little property. I got a house, my brother got a flat, right? We still had to pay the mortgage, don't get twisted, didn't buy it outright. But he was in a position, and that house mega moving to Sedway. He was a good man. He was an honest man, never thief anybody. He worked hard. He was married to my mum for 40 odd years. That's what I call a good man. That's what I'm going to say is a man of high value. That's a man that you can call out to help you with something as another black man. Now, I'm not necessarily overly pro-black, but when I hear Kevin Samuel's name, I get a bit irate and traumatized, because what he was describing and what he brought onto the scene wasn't for us. Actually, it's caused more division. Actually, it's caused more upset. People are now looking at themselves and saying, well, I am not enough because I'm not a woman of high value. I'm not a man of high value. And every single person in here, yes, we have our good and our bad, our highs and our lows. I'm sure we've all been to a repossession hearing here and there, but that doesn't necessarily make you a failure. Do you understand? And let's just think about, we've been here since 1948 for many of us, some before that, right? Those people were illiterate, but they bought some of the biggest houses London have ever seen. If people never came from the Caribbean to come here in the 40s, white people didn't know you could own your own home. They were all busy living in their council house and thought they were quite nice. And we come here and set the base level. I just want sometimes when we're gathered like this together, that we remember that we stand on the shoulders of people who came here with less than we have now. Them couldn't even read them name on a bullet if you write it. But they built foundations. Now we have decided, for whatever, escapism and all of our trauma, that dancehall and outer road is better. But I'm telling you, if we were to bring it back and stop these metrics that are not for us, we would be just like the other communities that we see outside of ourselves, and we would own just like them. And never, 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 no black king in a room like this describe or ascribe to being average. Yeah? People that survived, no, it upsets me. People that survived the Middle Passage, Desmond, so that you could be here now in this very moment, were not average. So you are not average.
Audience comment at the back. Audience comment.
Well said, Donna. That was amazing. So I've got a guy friend I'm really close to, and we have these Kevin Samuels debates all the time. He's a fan of Kevin Samuels, and I think his view on it is I've never watched it in full. So he's saying I always watch the little clips and I take it from that, and it's there to rile people up and to make people think that he's anti-women. Anyway, he says that if you listen to the whole thing, he actually has good points, and he says the same thing about men as well. Anyway, but we was having this conversation the other day, and he said this was not really about Kevin Samuels, but he was saying that he feels now in a position where I suppose he's the opposite of what you're saying, Desmond, where you saying you consider yourself an average guy. He considers himself not an average guy, and he says that he's now in a position to be able to do all these things and like build a new life for himself. But he couldn't. He's in his 40s, same age as me. But he's saying now, where he's successful, he's secure property-wise, he's got money, and he's got time. For him to build a new family unit, he can't do that with another 40-plus-year-old because she's probably not at the stage of making children, or she's already developed and she's already got her kids. So he's thinking being with a younger woman now he's understanding where Kevin Samuels is going with this. Like having a younger woman allows you to kind of start again, but from a position of comfort. Right. Just thought I'd share that.
Okay. And I don't feel that he's wrong. I don't feel that his response is wrong. To each his own. What I'm saying is, just because he chooses to do it that way, doesn't mean a man who's a welder, who's scratching his ass, got 5 children in a council house with his missus, but they're looking to buy it, doesn't make that he's low value. Yeah. What I'm saying is, It's all about strategy and what you want for yourself. And Kevin Samuels wasn't a bad person. I think what he did was give the black community, the black diaspora, a kick up the arse around some things. I think he definitely did that. But I think some of what he said was extremely divisive. And to a people that was already traumatized and not necessarily knowing their way out of that trauma.
And we're divided as
I
it
think
is.
he created more trauma and more division, yes.
More division, absolutely. Audience comment.
Yeah, so just going back to the age thing, I've got a daughter, she's 20, my son is 18.
You look 20 yourself.
I was going to say that one.
She looks 20 herself, look.
You look amazing.
Thank you. So I agree very much with you. Sorry, I forgot your name. With the white? Okay, yeah, so my name's Natasha. So I was at Carnival, and I had a 19-year-old guy chatting me up. And I said... And I just said to him, no, you could be my son. That doesn't work. And I just think, for me, the thing is, if I could be your mum, go away. Yeah. Like, that's just sickening, belly turning. And the fact that my daughter's 20, you know, if she's on dating sites, and I've got, like, older men that might even be older than me that are looking to chat her up online, so I totally agree with the age thing.
Natasha?
Yeah?
How did you know the young man was 19? Did he tell you his age?
Yeah. Yeah, he told me.
So didn't you look at it as flattering because you don't look your age? So he's approaching you because you don't look your age, Natasha.
Oh, thank you.
But most women, like if a younger guy talks to you, you don't look your age. So there's gonna, I mean, I like the older lady, but they're gonna talk to you because, oh, do you know what? It might be my age. And you might look at 19-year-olds like physically and think, oh, he's an attractive guy, but because you've got a daughter around the same age, so if you didn't have a daughter, would you at least entertain the conversation?
I still wouldn't, no. I think I'm very much about age thing, and I've got a son as well of 18. I could not bear the thought of talking to a guy that's my son's age. Yeah.
I think any age that ends in teen is off limits. Yeah.
Yeah.
18, 19, teen.
Even 20, It's okay.
Well, back to the question. Me personally, I mean, I couldn't do it. I mean, I like women. I like mature women because if I get sick, they can recognise it. Now, young girl, I like the young girl googling my symptoms. Yeah. I mean, can you recognise stroke? Can you recognise that?
And I just wanted to say to the panels, especially Simone, thank you for the compliment. I think that was beautiful. And it's not that I'm down on myself. I do recognise my achievements. It's not that I haven't achieved anything in life, nor have my children, etc., etc. But what it is that words have meanings. So I can look at myself a certain way and recognise my achievements. But I'm also very aware that the system and society also judges me, and they will not be judging me by the same metric I judge myself. So for me, yes, you know, I'm happy with what I've achieved, but by setting the bar low, it means that I can strive for higher.
Well,
so
Desmond,
it's just to better oneself.
From one high-value woman to a high-value man. No, seriously, I absolutely need you to walk in that high-valueness. There's no bar low for nothing. I'm really being honest with you here. And I know we're making jokes and we're laughing and we're having a great time, but I really, really want to say this to you, and I really want this to really resonate somewhere real deep inside of you. Because seriously, too many of our men really do have this thing about themselves where it's about what you've achieved and it's the outside stuff. But actually, when I listen to you, an intelligent man, I can hear that you can hold a conversation. Those things are what we're looking for. Your achievements are great. Like, don't get me wrong. I'd love
And
you
you
to
have
take me.
skin like velvet.
Exactly. I would absolutely love. No,
Skin like velvet.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying. No, but I'm just saying. No. I'm just saying, okay? Your achievements are great because, listen, I like, Trisha will tell you, I like the finer things in life. I do. I love that. So that's going to be great for me. But actually, when all that's done, when all that's finished, I need to know, does my man have something up here? What's going on up here? Is he humanitarian? Does he care about the world? Does he care about things that's happening around him? If, as Quincy said about being unwell, so my specialism is end-of-life care. I'm a palliative care nurse. I've sat with thousands of people and watched them die. And I'm telling you now, you see when you're in that last moment, none of your achievements matter. I'll tell you what matters. The connections you make, the memories you make, the lives you've touched, the things you've done. So when Kevin Samuels, and I'm going to be honest with you, I actually loved Kevin Samuels because I understood what he was trying to say, but his delivery wasn't the right thing, okay? Because if you watched his style, when a woman was a little bit lighter in skin tone and she looked a certain way on the camera, he would be a different way with her. If you looked like you had pounds on you and your skin was a little bit darker, he wasn't so nice to you. Now, for me, I didn't respect that, okay? And then when he died, to then know how he died, financially not in the best place, I thought, come on, Kevin.
In a prostitute
Come
with
on,
cocaine
Kevin.
and Red Bull.
She was an escort.
Like, just come on, Kevin. Do you get it? So
What's
we've got
the
to be... We've
There's a
got to be
difference, yeah?
careful. We've got to be careful. Desmond, I'm talking really directly to you. We've got to be very careful in what we buy into on this social media thing, in this world, in this thing that makes everything look great. Everything is filtered, everything is covered. And actually start looking at the measure of a man, which is his integrity, which is his heart, which is the things that he values. Because when the final curtain goes, that's what's important.
Right. Okay, guys. So this was our last topic. You want to do one more?
Do one more.
You don't want to do one more?
Do
We
one
wanted
more
to
without
party and
relationships.
stuff and other
Without-
things. Yeah, Nelson's got to go. You sure? No, Nelson,
Let the audience ask a question.
You're right, yeah?
Let the audience ask a panel question.
So audience want to answer panelists a question? Yeah?
And make sure they're better relationships.
All right. Do you want to ask something?
Dead questions.
No? Anyone? I see you want to ask the audience a question? Yes, sir. No, do you want to ask the panelists? I need to put this down.
I would say for everyone, just name 3 things that are the best things about you can offer in a relationship. Starting with Trisha.
Starting with me? Oh, no, I really need to put this down. I am... You always know where you stand with me, and not just in romantic relationships, in friendships as well. I'm very honest, I'm very loyal, and I will do anything for you. If it's within my means, I will do it. That's 3. But I'm hardworking, and I'm ambitious. So if you're my friend or if you were in a relationship with me, I'd want to strive to be the best that we could possibly be together. Yeah. Yeah.
I will listen. I will have empathy. And I'll be a filthy, nasty man.
This is our fellow Bajan, Mum. He's got no behaviour.
I would try my dog. He didn't say it.
Yeah.
I am nurturing, I am loyal, and I am your ride and die.
Yeah, you are. Come on, Goody. What's the best thing about you? 3 good things about you.
No, give it to Goody. I'm trying to think. I've only got one.
One.
3 things.
3 things good about being in a relationship.
3 things that, yeah, 3 of your best qualities.
think I'm caring, kind. Sometimes I'm considerate.
Why you look upon me? You're looking validation from me.
No.
You was an hour late today, so not considerate. Okay.
Just firing shots.
Always. Hour late, flop me. No, but you're a nice guy. He's all right.
Apparently.
So I thought hard
Sorry.
about this. What was the question again? 3 things that I'm good at.
3 things, 3 of your best qualities.
Not what you're good at, please,
Hey!
Well, because. I am good at in a relationship. Confidence. I'm good at giving my partner confidence because I'm very confident. The second thing I bring to my relationship is my proximity to power. And the leverage that I have worked hard to earn, that when we are, or when we need it, I have a close proximity to it. And the last thing, is my apparent humour.
Yeah, funny.
And I think it's really important that for yourself and for your partner, you always remain sexy. And I think that's what I bring to my relationship.
Well done. You pack up
3 things that I 3 things that I'd bring to a relationship.
3 of your best.
My best qualities. Okay, I'm funny as hell. But hell's not funny, but yeah, I'm funny. I'm extremely integral. My word is, what I say is what I do. What I speak is what I live. That is completely me. Who I am here is who I am at home. Who I am in social media. You get the same Simone everywhere you go. And I am very family orientated, and I love family. And I don't just mean my family. If you become family in terms of friendships or whatever, I definitely would nurture that, and I think that's something that's good. And then a bonus one is I'm a praying woman, and I think it's very important to be...
Spiritual protection,
Yeah, I'm a covering for anybody that is in my life, and especially if you're going to be my love partner, yeah, you're going to have to get used to I'm going to be praying a storm over you all the time. That's just who I am.
Yeah. That.
Gosh, I had to think long and hard. Okay, I would say that I am definitely, when I'm with someone, I'm a rider. I will ride with you. I will build you up. I've always done that. I've always been the one to kind of lift up my man and build him up and help him in any way that I can. And I'm empathetic. So I will give you that space where you can talk. And I didn't really realise that until an ex told me that. So yeah.
Trisha, is that the end?
A?
See, A?
I said my bit.
Is there any more questions?
Any more questions for the panel? All right, can we just all say a quick hello to Polly?
Hello, Polly.
Trisha's put me on the spot.
Polly is the owner of this space. And
Owner?
Well, she runs this space.
Thank you for bringing it to life. It's really nice
So-
to see so many happy people here. So.
Yeah.
And this was so. I've just come in, and I'm just saying it's so nice just hearing everyone just say a round of really positive things. You know, it's that's really what we need at the moment. Everyone just saying things to boost everyone's confidence is great.
Yeah.
But honestly, thank you so much for being here tonight and making good use of the space. So yeah, you're all really welcome and Merry Christmas and all of that.
And if you want to rent the space, this is who you talk to.
And if anyone wants to come and rent the space, we're always open, or for events here, we've got meeting rooms, event space. So yeah, we're always here.
This is space 4.
Yeah, thank you, Trisha.
You're welcome.
Trisha, can we just have you for a second? Just for a second.
Have me?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah,
So
cool.
guys, I just think that let's talk about Natalie and Trisha for a second. Yeah. This wasn't planned, but I just, I'm never going to be here and not say something about my girls. I really, really think we need to give you guys a real huge round of applause, because from the very day that you you mentioned this no bravado thing. You guys have stuck at it. And it hasn't been easy. You guys have been publicly attacked and you've actually still just gone on and done your thing. Trisha, I just want to say, look at this, look at Quincy, I love Labrish. Quincy, what?
It's debating this. It's debating us.
No, but seriously, on
We've
behalf...
been seriously attacked,
yeah. But I tell you, nobody comes for anything that isn't a problem, okay? So don't look at the size in your numbers. What you guys are doing is absolutely amazing. Keep going, keep growing. And let me tell you, you see 2023, do not even know what is coming for No Bravado. This room here is just a small fraction of what you're both going to do. And I just feel so honoured. As Donna said, proximity to power. You guys are my power friends. And I absolutely love both of you. Don't let anything break you. Stick together. Keep going. And just watch where God's going to take No Bravado.
Absolutely. Thank you. And with that said, we just want to give you guys a little gift. Your guys, you stop her at the back, yeah? You've got gifts. But this is Simone. That's for you. And we're going to give everybody something. We've got something. Someone open the door. Nikki, this is for you. Donna, this is for you. Because it has been a journey. We're going to get you guys as well. Yeah. So Goody, Quincy, G-Wiz, all of you guys that have come on the panel. And I think Goody, you know you're my heart. I bust your balls all the time, but you're my boy. I love you to bits. And I think one of the most successful shows that we had was the one that you came on and you was real and you gave it to us. And this has been this one dubbed us the Entrapment Twins. But you gave us the real talk. And the boys got you through it, and I don't think you've been as honest as that very first show because they got you through it.
They fired shots.
But that show, it set us on fire, definitely. You've been a great support. You put us on your radio. You took, like, even the reel that you did the other day, it's 1,000 hits. Just saying, come to the No Bravado Brunch. So we've been knowing each other, 20 years plus now? And you've always been there for me, no matter what. And I appreciate you. And I'm going to always be there for you. So thank you. Thank you. Always there, man. We fight like brother and sister, because that's what we are. But no matter what, I could pick up the phone and say, Goody, I need your help. And he's there. So I appreciate that. That's high value. That's what we are saying. That's what we are saying. High value. Nikki, you're already done now. Original Ride and Die, no matter what. Always there, always on the panel, always gives her honest opinion. And those of you who watch the lives, Nikki gives it to people in their arse, boy. She don't play about. But we love you for it. We know where you stand, and there's just no one like you. That's right. I don't even know what to say other than that. And Simone's done one live before us, but she's prayed over many, many things. So part of good energy, no matter what, because my religious beliefs are not the same as Simone's, but I believe in good energy and where it comes from. And if it comes from your heart, then I will allow someone to pray over me if I think you've got good energy. And I thank you for everything. And we've got so much more to do together. Come on. They're not ready for us. We've got so much more to do. So, and Donna? So we already know what, you've seen it today. Donna's got her own platform, which is called H&H. And I could still call Donna and say, and we do our shows on the same day. We do our shows on a Tuesday. So Donna does hers every Tuesday. We do ours every other. And I could still phone Donna and say to Donna, would you jump on No Bravado and come and crack some joke with us? And she would like, all right, I'm going to let H&H know that we're not doing it today, and put her own show aside to come on to No Bravado. What? Pure joke, pure love. And it just is an example of what we're supposed to be doing together as a community. There's so much room for all of us at the top, and we've been conditioned to think that there's only room for one of us at the top. And this panel lets me know that actually I put my things aside for yours, and I want you lot to know that I would do exactly the same for you. And this Bayesian troublemaker here, Quincy. We're going to be doing a lot more work with Quince, but again, same thing. Whenever we call, he comes on and gives a great male perspective, and there's actually no bravado. And we love you lot for it, so thank you. We've got you sorts of gifts at the back.
Thank you, guys. Honestly, thank you.
So give them a round of applause. Thank you. Hopefully next year you lot will spread the word and tell everybody that this was great. Yeah, tell a friend to come next year. So before we sign off, one of our No Bravado members is his birthday today. Well, it was yesterday, but we're celebrating today. So Livingston, give everybody stand up. Give everybody. Yeah. Can we sing happy birthday to him? Can we sing happy birthday? All right. After 3, 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Livingston. Happy birthday to you. Hey! And lastly, thank you to all of you. Look, Davina has come from Manchester. Davina said, listen, Davina said, there's no trains. Did you not know that? But I'm going to take the coach. Yeah? And she's here. So thank you. Thank you to all of you that support us, that comment, that share our posts, that tune into the lives. We are nothing without you lot. So thank you again. And we really hope you enjoyed the evening.